Okay, so in this last video for the example of G+1 and the project that we are making, we'll just concentrate on removing these errors from the drawing so that our drawing gets accepted. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to make the coverage area polygon. Going into the drawing template, we can find ground coverage here. So I'll just copy the ground coverage and paste it inside our drawing. I'll make that polygon to showcase our ground coverage, and similarly I'll match the property also. The next is block 1 building height is not defined. So we'll have to draw the dimension for our building height also. That you will find in the elevation and sectional category. I'll just show the dimension of the building height. Match the property. So right now we have drawn the dimension for block 1 height of building. Before going into the general staircase, let's first resolve the north direction and roof area also. North area is quite simple. We just have to copy and paste the north direction symbol from the drawing template. So maybe I can show it inside our format itself. You can place it anywhere you want. Now the last provision is roof area, that also it is not defined. So that because we are made a G+1, so we have to make a roof area for floor 1. So under floor plan, we'll find it inside the roof area. Here we'll copy the polygon for floor 1. And match the property. So as you can see, we have made a polygon for block 1, floor 1, roof area. Now the last item that is mandatory required in our project is the general staircase. So let's go to the drawing template and start preparing our general staircase. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to enclose the staircase and provide the building height. is the first polygon that you have to bring in. One for the staircase enclosure and the M text to showcase the floor height. And I'll just put in the value of the floor height from here. The second part is the flight and risers that we have to make. So I'll just bring in the polygon to showcase flight. Right now we are making the flight one. At this time only, maybe we can create a new layer and make the flight 2 parallelly so that we don't have to spend extra time creating from the scratch. So if you go into the layer properties, I'll just copy the layer name for flight 1, create a new layer and just change the flight 1 to flight 2. The color code is 7, that is white. The next thing is to draw the staircase risers. After making one line for riser, I'll just copy it and place it over each step. As you can see, we have made block 1 floor 0, stair 1 flight 1, and we have used the color code 3 to show the risers. And for flight 2, I'll do the same thing because we have already created the layer name for flight 2, block 1 floor 0, stair 1 flight 2. I'll just match the property. block 1 floor 0 stair 1 flight 2 and just change the color code from 7 to 3 to showcase the riser. So right now we have block 1 floor 0 stair 1 flight 2 and I'll just copy it and paste it over each step. The next thing that we have to do is we have to make the flight width dimension. So for that we'll just copy this polygon from here. And parallelly, we'll also make the length dimension also, which is color code 1. And yellow is the width, and we'll just change it to color code 1, that is red, to showcase length. So we have completed flight 1 all components. We'll do the same thing for flight 2 also. I'll just show the width of the staircase. Forgotten to place a riser in the last step also, so I'll just do that. Yeah. Now both our dimensions are block 1 floor 0 stair 1 flight 2. And for the width, I'll change it to color code 2. And for the length, I'll change it to color code 1. Now the only thing remaining is the landing part. We are done with the staircase, the enclosure, the height, and then we are also covered with done with the flight and riser provisions also. The last thing that we have to do is we have to make the staircase landing polygon and show its width and length. I'll just copy the polygon from here. All of these has the same layer name. We'll just match the property and quickly change the color code also. Just make the landing. As you can see, we have block 1, floor 0, stair 1, landing 1. We have to show the width and length here also. For width, we'll put in the color code 2, and for the length, we'll put in color code 1. So we are done with the staircase 1 for floor 0. We'll have to do the same thing for floor 1 also. Either you can create the layer names and do it fastly, or you can bring in the required layers from the drawing template. Under floor 1, we have the same provision here. Because it's a copy of the entire floor 0. We just have to paste it over floor 1. So the easiest thing to do would be just select all these provisions. Just select the OBPS layer that we have just made. We have selected all the OBPS layers for staircase in floor 0. We just have to copy it to floor 1. And the only thing now that is left is to change the name. So either you can bring in all the layers and change it accordingly, or you can create the new layer name and get it done from the layer property. For that, I'll just match the property of the template that I brought in. This is the staircase enclosure, and this is the floor height. Right now, we are done with block 1, floor 1, stair 1. For flight 1, I'll just copy it from the drawing template, paste it. I'll do the step once for one flight and the other method for flight 2. So the length is color code 1 and the width is color code 2. Now I have to select the now we have to do the same thing for flight 2 as well. Flight 2, what we'll do is we'll directly go into the layer properties and copy the floor 0 stair 1 flight 2, create a new layer and just change the floor 0 to floor 1. So this is a much faster approach in which we just by creating a new layer, we'll just select all of these provisions one by one and just change the layer name from the layer properties. We'll change from floor 0 to floor 1. Block 1, floor 1, stair 1, flight 2. So in this method, we don't have to individually go and change the color code for each polygon and lines. We just have to change the layer name from floor 0 to floor 1. The last is the landing. We can do the same thing for landing as well. Just copy it, create a new layer and change from, sorry, landing 1 will remain the same, floor 0 to floor 1. Just select the provisions of all floors for a landing. And after selecting the 3 components of landing, we'll change it to floor 1, block 1, floor 1, stair 1, landing 1. This is color code red and this is yellow. So here we just need to change the layer. I just match the property. There was a mistake in floor 0. We didn't rename the layer name to landing. I'll just do that same thing. Right now we have 3 components for landing. One is the landing polygon, the other 2 are the width and length dimensions. I'll just quickly change the length color code to okay. So before moving ahead, we can also make some of the provisions that are coming inside a project that are according to our design, we can make it. For example, our project has a plinth, so we can denote the plinth height here. We have parapet, mumty, and we also have these chhajjas that are falling on the setback. So let's cover these points as well, and after that we'll scrutinize the drawing. If you go to drawing template, you will find the chhajja. Under chhajja projections over setback. I'll just copy the 2 polygons for floor 0 and floor 1. We are done with floor 0. Similarly, we'll do the same thing for floor 1. We are done with making the chhajjas for each floor. The next component that we can make is the plinth height. So going back to the drawing template, we can see the plinth layer name. So I'll just copy the dimension from here. Then what we can make is we can make the parapet height also. So for that, we'll go into the parapet part. It is coming under the railing section. And if you see color code 1, it is for staircase railing. Then we have 2 for DA ramp. 3 is for the parapet railing height. I'll just place it here. The next is the mumty height as well. So we'll just open the drawing template, and under mumty, I'll just copy the dimension of and draw the mumty height and just match the properties also. There are some staircase railing and staircase headroom that we have to provide in the drawing. We'll cover those in the next video.